Hello everyone, I'm Hubert, welcome to Teach Me channel, and today I'm going to show you how to factorize quadratic equations. I think best way to learn quadratic equations is by reverse engineering it. First I will show you a factorized equation, we are going to expand it, and I'm going to show you how it all works. So, for example, let's take this equation, x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 5. Now, if we expand it using the expanding bracket rule, like this, what does it give us? X times x equals x squared, x times 5 equals 5x, x times 3, 3x, plus 15. So in other words, it is x squared plus 8x plus 15. Now, what do we notice that's interesting about this? Well, what is interesting about this is that if we do 3 plus 5, the numbers from here, we get 8x. Now, if we get the same numbers and we do 3 times 5, then we get 15. So, in order to factorize equations, the whole point of this is to find a pair of numbers that adds to make this number and multiplies to make this number. So, let's take a very simple example. Let's try x squared plus 9x plus 18. Okay, so if we wanted to factorize it, same rule, we have 18 here and we have 9 here. So, in other words, we need to find a pair of numbers that adds to give us 9, and we need to find a pair of numbers that multiplies to give us 18. So, what are our possibilities? We could try 1 times 18, 1 times 18, which gives us 18. However, if we do 1 plus 18, that gives us 19, so it will not work. We could try 2 times 9. If we do 2 times 9, yes, it gives us 18. However, if we do 2 plus 9, that is going to give us 11. That's not going to give us 9. So that does not work. We could also try 3 times 6. If we do 3 times 6, we get 18. If we do 3 plus 6, we get 9. So this is the pair of numbers that we are going to use to factorize this equation. So from now onwards, it's pretty easy. So 3 plus 6 equals 9. 3 times 6 equals 18. So now it's pretty simple. We just open up 2 brackets. We put x here, put x here, x plus 3, and x plus 6. And that's it. We have factorized this equation. Okay, however, what happens if we have negative signs in the equation? For example, equations such as this, x squared minus 5x plus 6. It's relatively simple equation, however it has a negative sign here. what do we do in such a case? Well, it is the same. It is the same concept. It is exactly the same concept. We have to find a pair of numbers that multiplies to give us 6 and a pair of numbers that adds to give us a negative 5. So, essentially, pair of numbers that adds to give us negative 5, pair of numbers that multiplies to give us a positive 6. So, what are our options here? We could try negative 6 and positive 1. Well, that would add to give us negative 5. However, it will give us a negative 6. So, no, we don't want this. We could try negative 2, and we could try a 3. So that will not work at all, because it will give us a negative 6. It will give us 6, but it will be a negative 6 and negative 1 if we add it. That does not work at all. What else could we try? We could try negative 2 and negative 3. So, if we do negative 2 times negative 3, we get positive 6. And if we do negative 2 plus negative 3, this will give us a negative 5. So this is the pair of numbers we are looking for. So, as we can show here, negative 2 plus negative 3 equals negative 5. Negative 2 times negative 3 gives us a positive 6. So we are almost done. As before, we just open up 2 brackets. We put x in each. And now we just need to be careful with the signs. So we have here negative 2. So x minus 2. And we have a negative 3. So here we can do x minus 3. And there we go. This is our answer. So these are relatively simple equations. And now we can move on to a bit more complex equations. Ones where the x squared is more than 1. So, for example, if we do 2x squared plus 8x plus 6. Now, how do we solve this? The problem we have here is here. That's our problem. That if we have x squared, it is more than 1. And that will change our rules. That will change our rules slightly. But never fear, there is a logical way of doing this. So, since we have 2x squared here, this will double. So, we need to find a pair of numbers, same as before, a pair of numbers that adds to give us 8. However, we need to also find a pair of numbers that multiplies to give us 2 times 6. Multiplies to give us 2 times 6, which is 12. So we need to find a pair of numbers that adds to give us 8. We need to find a pair of numbers that multiplies to give us 12. So what, again, back to normal. Again, what are our possibilities? We could try 1 and 12. So that gives us 12. However, if we add it, it gives us 13. So that will not work. Okay, what else, if we multiply, what else can give us 12? For example, 3 and 4. We multiply 3 times 4, that gives us 12 indeed. However, if we add them, it gives us 7. We are almost there, but not quite. And another possibility is, of course, 2 and 6. We multiply 2 times 6, that gives us 12. If we do 2 plus 6, that gives us 8, of course. Okay, so we got the pair of numbers, 2 and 6. Now, what do we do next? This is another place where this method differs slightly. What we do is we open up the brackets, same as before, and before we would have been putting x's here. However, now we are going to put 2x into each of those brackets. We add 2x, and now, same as before, we put in those numbers, we plug in those numbers, and here we go. This is what we get. Now, what we need to do now, in this case we have few options, but what we need to do is we need to get rid of that 2x in one of those brackets, because obviously if we keep those, that is going to give us 4x squared, not 2x squared as we want here. So how do we get rid of one of those 2x's? Well, we need to shorten one of those brackets. We need to shorten it, whichever one works. In some cases you will have only one option, in some cases you actually have more than one option. So we need to shorten these brackets. So let's take this one. Let's try to shorten this one. We divide 2x by 2. We divide 2x by 2, which gives us 1x. So it gives us x. We keep this the same. And we divide 6 by 2. So what does it give us? It gives us a 3. So now we are almost done. Now all we have to do is write down the answer. 2x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 3. This is our answer, and this is essentially how you factorize quadratic equations. Thank you for watching. If you want to stay up to date on new videos, I am going to be releasing daily videos teaching maths, teaching sciences on GCSE as well as A-level. And I will also release some videos going into biomedical sciences on university level. So if you want to keep up to date with that, please press the subscribe button below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow.